Hey, welcome, welcome, welcome. I thought I'd go live with all of you and thank you all for making this week one of the most influential weeks in social media. This is a game-changing event. And if you haven't been keeping up to it, we have been in a launch of something called Soci Empire. Now, what is this? And what is the future of social media? These are the compelling questions that we've all been asking as Facebook was completely offline for a solid day yesterday. It was absolutely crazy. Now, why is it? What happened? And what is the future of social media? I would wager that the future of social media is something that is related to, guess what? Email. Email marketing still to this day is the number one way that people can connect with your subscribers. And when you do it correctly, as we've been talking about all day today, I had a 3-hour training called How to Write Emails That Sell that was inspired by my mentor and my friend, Matt Basak, based on his new book that's coming out. I'm really excited about this book that's coming. It's by that title, and hopefully we'll have Mac back on the show to talk more about it. So if you're here watching us live, please ask any question you like about email marketing, social media, anything that you would like to know about this. So if you haven't been paying attention, we have a product launch that's going on called SociSNAP. Now, SociSNAP, like Snap, is my product. I created it. It's designed to help you make more engaging posts on social media. And most recently, people have been using it to make more engaging emails, the type of emails that get opened, that get clicked on. And thanks to all of you who are in our community, you have helped us push to the top of the leaderboards with this launch. I put some links below this video, but you can always check it out at SociSNAP.com, SociSNAP. We are in the final hour now of this launch at 9 o'clock Pacific time, midnight Eastern time. The launch will be over. And to celebrate this launch, I have my friends, Nick and Cindy, who are probably sleeping right now. I know Cindy's awake, but she can't join us. She's on her phone. She's in Australia. Let me explain to you a little bit about what's going on here. We have been working around the clock on building an alternative channel for social media. Because think about this. Social media is entirely dependent upon the medium in which you're able to access your fans. And this poses a huge problem because what we need to, please write some comments in the chat. I just opened up my comments so I can bring your comments and your questions out here and answer them live on camera here. If you are relying on social media to reach your audience, what happens if Facebook goes down? What happens if all of a sudden your fans are not trending with you? They're not actually following you. You must build your email list. But up until recently, it's been too time consuming to build your list. So what you need to do is build an alternative channel. And that's what this Soci Empire launch is all about. So I'm going to add a little clip from today's live stream into the feed here, and I'll take some questions from you. SociSNAP, and why do you think it would be beneficial for Easy One-Up members to have it and use it daily?
Well, one of the biggest things of SociSNAP is that it's so simple to use. I was up and running in a few minutes because it's not much different than a lot of other programs that you've been using, like Word and things like that. So you don't have to go and start learning all sorts of stuff with it, which is a big problem with other things that people buy, including things that I bought that I don't use because I don't want to sit and have to figure it out. So I didn't have to figure it out, which is great. And it doesn't take more than just a few minutes to be able to drastically increase the response rates from your emails, your posts, your replies on your social media. And like the tagline, it just makes everything pop off the page versus the same boring text that everyone else is using. And so it makes your posts look different. Just slice through all of the fog of everything, the same type of thing. And one of the ways to do that is to change the visual by which people see your posts, and just to stop them in their track, because in their tracks and say, oh, that looks different. And then you can actually sell them the meat on whatever you're looking to offer them. So for really pennies, the SociSNAP product is very affordable. And again, you can use it and start using it really quickly and implement it instantly. And I use it practically every day on the different things that I'm doing, and tuning up emails and different things like that, as well as just extra things that SociSNAP can do as well too, versus changing the appearance of, just if you're looking to use the same text, and just changing the appearance with emojis and bold and underlines and these types of things, which is the basic function of it. But there's so many other things in there as well too that you can use if you want to use some more of the power tools that it has to offer. So it's a great product, very, very affordable. And if you become an affiliate of it, you put it in your back office, and everybody you bring into the program, you're going to get a cut. So it's a nice extra income stream to help defray your marketing budget. And we talk about these types of things all the time when we do these types of Zooms.
Once you have an account with SociSNAP, you can sign in with Google, Facebook, iPhone, or Mac. And so I'm just going to click log in with Google. I'm just going to go through what SociSNAP is. Essentially, you want to format a post, whether it's a social media post or an email, and you turn it into something extremely engaging, and you can increase your performance by a percentage. Okay. And here's the thing. It makes you money, because the higher your conversion is, the more money you make with the small number of people that you have to mail to. So start thinking about this. If you start building a buyer's list of 2,000 people that you can just send out an email to and make money, you're now free, right? You've basically bought yourself freedom.
The conversions that you get, the more eyeballs you see on it that you have that are engaging with it, and the sales you're making. It doesn't take long before you not only pay for the program, but you have a nice cash flow coming in.
Okay, so that's a little clip of what we covered earlier today in the broadcast. So I'd love to hear some comments or a question that you have. If you're tuning in, let us know where you're tuning in live from. And I have another clip that's rendering right now. And so in the meantime, I just want to summarize a little bit about what we talked about, and about email, and about email delivery, and about how to write emails that sell. In order to write an email that sells, what you need to do is have a really good offer first. The offer is really the key. One of the things that I've learned in the last 30 years that I've been doing copywriting, and copywriting is the art of writing, sales letters, emails, letters, web pages, sales pages, checkout pages, is I always work with the end in mind, and I work backwards. Just like a good book, you want to come up with when you're writing a book, you want to have the conclusion at least somewhat in your mind, and then you work backwards to the beginning of what you're wanting to accomplish, especially in nonfiction books. So with the email, you want to start with the checkout page. So whenever you're promoting an offer, whether it's on ClickBank, JVZoo, Pay Kickstart, SociSNAP, any of my products, Easy 1UP, whatever it is, you want to go to the checkout page, which is the last place that people will be before they put in their credit card. And you want to make sure that you're restating and reinforcing the offer that's being made. Exactly what that offer is and what it is going to do for your prospect. So in the case of this particular launch that's going on, they call it Complete DFY, which stands for Done For You. Funnels, emails, autoresponders, everything. And so when they approached me about this, they said, hey, Vic, could you include the SociJam product inside of our launch? I said, absolutely. I would love to help that because it's coherent, it's cohesive. Our tool helps you create a higher percentage of people looking at your offers, looking at your videos, looking at your YouTube, looking at your titles, looking at your descriptions, and acting on it. But if your copy is not that good, an increase in percentage, even a doubling of zero is still zero. So you have to get out of the zeros. You have to be able to say, okay, I made 7 sales. How could I turn those 7 sales into 70 sales? How do I turn those 70 sales into 700 sales? That's your thinking process. Well, the way you do that is through refinement. And refinement is going through what's working, figuring out what's working, split testing, and being able to find when something improves. Or if something didn't improve, why did it not improve? So we start with the end in mind, and that's the checkout page, the actual place where you put your credit card in. Then you go backwards one step to the sales page. And the sales page is the offer, the actual offer that's being made. So I'm going to share my screen here and show you very briefly what one of these sales pages looks like. Okay, so now you should be seeing the sales page coming up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up my web browser. We're doing this live, by the way. So let me bring up the live browser. And here's a screenshot of what we were just working on earlier today. This is actually not the sales page. This is the sales page. Okay. And what I was doing is I was distinguishing the offer, which was Facebook was down, it's back up, but what will you do next? Okay. A lot of people, especially like my friends who are running e-com businesses, their businesses were shut down for a day because they had no way to run ads on Facebook. So what did they do? Well, they mailed their email lists. And that's why it's crucial to build your email list. And so if I click here, yes, order now, that's what I was telling you before. There's an offer page that goes to a network. And then here it says it's a checkout. So I'm going to zoom in here a little bit and make it like that so you can see it. Complete training DFY resource kit and software bundle to tap into the social influencer field with powerful email marketing funnels. So check your email, and you probably got an email from me. Look for Victor Grant or something like that, and you'll have this link. But just pay attention. You want to start with the secure checkout and then work backwards to like the sales page. Now you'll notice if you go to this sales page and you click the keep reading button, it's going to bring up a much longer offer page. Now, I actually crafted this offer with the team that made the product. I'm just going to zoom in here. And when you're creating an offer, you want to make sure that everything in the offer is above the fold and there is a yes, order now button that people can click that. And when they click that, it scrolls down to where the offer is located. Okay. And so then it basically says, okay, you have 2 choices. You can get the agency access and bonuses. You can do an advanced resource kit. You get the DFY, all this stuff. And what that does is it causes people to go back and say, oh, what was that? Oh, well, that's answered earlier up on the page. It's answered earlier up inside of the extraordinary value packed offer. It's in the 30-day money back guarantee. Oh, here's other people that are having success with this product. It builds that curiosity. So whenever I go to a sales page, I go here immediately. I click the order now button. I scan the price, and then I work my way backwards. And that's the same way you also want to author your offers. Does that make sense? Let me know in the chat if this is making sense to you. And as you can see, this is a very, very long sales page. Okay. So it's kind of funny. It's a chicken and egg. It's really the same offer. You can buy Soci Empire from the links in the emails that I sent you, and you'll get SociSNAP lifetime as a bonus. Or you can buy SociSNAP lifetime by going to SociSNAP.com, and you'll get Soci Empire as the bonus, because you're actually paying, not me. You're not buying it from me. You're buying it from the Soci Empire folks, because this is their launch. That's how these launches work. And so you'll notice that SociSNAP has this exclusive lifetime offer. I was letting it expire because I was planning on talking a little bit more about Soci Empire, because a lot of people say, well, what, Vic, I want SociSNAP, but what is Soci Empire? And I would say is come back and ask me that question after the launch is over. Just trust me, it's great. You're going to love it. But in a nutshell, what Soci Empire is a very, very simple way for you to build an email list. Influencers need to build an influencer. Excuse me, influencers. Who are these influencers? Well, they call themselves social influencers, but when I look at their channel, they have maybe 100 subscribers on their YouTube channel. They might have 500 or 600 people. They're not really influencers. I mean, you would think of like Tony Robbins as a mega social influencer, but every influencer must be building their email list. And most of the biggest reason why they haven't built their email list is because they have not yet made the decision to author the content that they want to author. And being a content author myself, I got to tell you, it takes time. You might spend 100 hours recording your own trainings, recording your own videos, putting it out there. And then you have to put it out there to your audience and have them engage with you. It's a lot of work. And most influencers, it's much more easy to just go on Facebook, record a quick Facebook Live, and say, hey, yeah, become my fan, become my friend, right? But what happens when social media breaks down, or it's not reachable, or all of a sudden, for whatever reason, your pages are not getting enough engagement? What are you going to do? Well, you could boost it. And I totally encourage you to go boost your posts on social media. You could place an ad with YouTube. Great idea. But what if that ad doesn't bring you enough money to even cover the cost of the ad? That's why you want to build an email list, because once you have an email list, you start thinking differently. You go, okay, let me mail my list first. And then if my list likes the offer, then I will advertise on Facebook. Then I will advertise on YouTube. Then I will advertise by taking out a solo ad or purchasing some traffic. Once you have an email list, you are now the captain of your own ship. So let's cut to another video. This is going to bring us up to the top of the hour when the offer will be expiring. I'm going to put some links in the comments below for you to pick these offers up. Now, I understand that $150 might be too much for some of you. That's okay. I want you to take advantage of this. Go ahead and make that small investment of this $16.98 just to get into the queue. Okay. Just get in some capacity. And if you want to jump in on the full offer, this is my full offer. It's called the Soci Empire Victor Special. And it's basically a gift from me to you, because essentially what you're going to be getting is thousands of dollars of value from my friends. It's way more value than what they're even charging for. Just take a look at the page. I would suggest you go ahead and make sure that you have access to one of these two offers tonight. And then last but not least, it's kind of like a chicken and egg. You can go to super.SociSNAP.com and you can pick up the lifetime deal that's on this page. Now, I'm going to try to get you another lifetime deal once this one expires, and see if we can get another one, maybe with one of our other joint venture partners. So check back tomorrow if you missed this broadcast and the lifetime deal is over. That's okay. We're going to get you another lifetime deal in here soon, because my goal is that you all have lifetime access to SociSNAP. And SociSNAP itself is $27 a month. It used to be $30. We dropped the price to make it more compliant with the going rate for social media tools. And so you can pick that up for the low price of $27 a month if you just want to go monthly with that. So let's jump back to the live recording. And I'm going to go add this video to the stream. It just rendered. This is 26 minutes long from today's live broadcast. And welcome. I'm Victor, and I'm on the technical team. I'll see you guys at the end in the last few minutes. The CEO. I'm going to go back to mailing some more emails. We're going to be talking about how to write emails that sell. This is going to be the critical skill that you simply must have in order to grow your business from zero to hero, hero level income. And believe it or not, this landing page has produced, I'll give you the exact count, but I think it's around 500,000 opt-ins, which is pretty impressive. 500,000 opt-ins to this landing page. Peter, can you believe that? I'm going to get the exact number here because I think it still kind of blows my mind.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's with the girl in the red looking at the screen.
Yeah, why do you think it was? Is it the clarity and simplicity of the message?
Well, that's usually what it is. With the copywriting is you have to slice through the fog, and you have to have clarity of purpose and clarity, because people have a short attention span. But it's also, there's very well too. It's the image that's used, where they're looking on the screen. All these different types of things that we've tested over the years makes a huge difference. Even the color of the shirt on the girl, or the color in the background, the direction they're looking at, all these different types of things make a big difference in the opt-in rate.
Yeah, these are all critical factors. And you want to make sure that you might be surprised, but a lot of people actually read this fine print. What you put below that button is crucial in whether people will actually enter their info. We've seen it as much as changing one word can be the difference between 0 opt-ins and lots of opt-ins. And so a lot of people ask me, well, Vic, how are you able to get so many opt-ins? And the answer to that question is I do excessive split testing. I'm almost OCD when it comes to split testing. I do so much testing that sometimes the nothing ever gets delivered. That's the opposite extreme. Like you do so much testing with tiny little audiences, like maybe 1,000 people at a time, that, if you get disillusioned if the test doesn't work with 1,000, you're not going to send it to 10,000. But what I see a lot of people doing, Peter, in the world is they're going to purchase a list, they're going to upload the list, they're going to send it out to like 10,000 people, and then they're going to hope that 2 or 3 of them will open. Obviously, they hope that hundreds will open and click.
Because they blame it on the company. It's
right.
Oh, the company doesn't work because they didn't get any opt-ins. No, it's not necessarily the company. They didn't even get to the company yet.
Yeah, exactly. So put the name of the highest level program you're in. And if you don't have a sponsor, or your sponsor is AWOL, AWOL stands for away without leave. Is that what it means, Peter?
Yeah. Yes. Right.
Yeah. Or if your sponsor is abandoned, you put in an orphan. Okay. And just going to go through some logistics. If your email is free, i.e. Gmail, Yahoo, AOL, or Hotmail, please search for emails from support@easyoneUp.com. Open them, click on the links inside. Please do this right now, because that will help future emails for the company to reach people, including the people you sign up. Okay? So these are my sales of just doing a little test. Did this last month with a gentleman. If you were here early, you saw I did an interview with Matt Basak and with Alan. And basically, when I decided to promote Matt Basak and Alan, this is just a page, I don't know. This is a small fraction of the sales that I was able to generate with that, because they're really, really good products. Okay. Now, if you're in Gmail, please write this down, put it on a napkin, or just remember, :spam. If you put that in the search box right here, you will automatically see all of the letters that came from spam. And then we sent out a video for all the Easy One Up members, which teaches you exactly how to do that. So while I pull up that video, I just wanted Peter to talk for a little bit, because he's driving. After sending tens of thousands of emails, what is the biggest lesson that you've learned from email marketing and email delivery, especially since you started working with me and I was able to, like, at one point, tenfold your email delivery? Take it away, Peter.
Well, first of all, hey, everybody. And second of all, I'm driving. And third of all, hopefully the audio doesn't get cut off. So, the biggest lesson that I learned from Victor was the segmentation of the lists, to separate them according to response, non-response, interest, these types of things, and not to send everything in bulk to, say, 10,000 people. So you're able to also send first to a small list of people that respond, which tune up the email provider like Gmail to say, hey, what's to follow is going to be interesting because these people have already shown interest. So these small modifications has caused the open rates to go through the roof, for me anyway.
Let's talk about this spam folder a little bit more. This was an email that we were sending out via Builderall at peterwolfing.info. And if you go to peterwolfing.info, you see there's a website and there's an email, and then there's an email at peter@peterwolfing.info. When we first got started with Builderall, what we did was we mailed out a bunch of emails and we asked people to report not spam. And then as more and more people started reporting not spam, finding their emails from their inbox, and clicking on the links inside, what that does is it educates Gmail that you're good people. Okay. It's really, really crucial. And I mean, today's class is not so much about delivery, although delivery is extremely important. My other course, which I talked about, Email Help Out, is just a delivery course. Today, we're going to be talking about how to write the emails that sell. And short is sweet. Now, take a look at the copy of this video. When you start watching this video, you might think, I can do this. And yes, you can. What that's called is it's a presumption. We're already assuming that the person is going to click the link. And that's one of the reasons why we got such a great click-through rate on that. So watch the training on my 28 success tips. And that was just an audio program that we did through intentional mentoring, where Peter went through the 28 success tips chart. Now, everyone in Easy One Up should already have the 28 success tips. Please put in the chat 28 if you've already received that PDF somewhere in your email, because correct me if I'm wrong, Peter, but every single member of Easy One Up, when they first join, they're sent the link to that 28 success tips PDF, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
And see, we're seeing some 28s here in the chat, right? So that means people are getting it, right? Google is an artificial intelligence company. Let me say that again. Google used to be a search engine. Now they're an artificial intelligence company. They write software that emulates human behavior. And they do this by studying hundreds of thousands of people's behaviors and then crafting computer programs that simulate a human being. So let's look at that a little bit more deeply. They've established that they allow about 2,000 emails per day. 2,000 emails per day, okay? Ingrain that number in your brain, because that's the maximum number. Like if you go to Gmail and you purchase something called G Suite, it used to be called G Suite. I think it's now called Google Workplace. I think it's, it's an email program. It's their version of an email software, an email delivery software. And they give you all these cloud and all this kind of stuff. Basically, it's about $8-9 a month, something like that. If you purchase that, then they give you the blessing to send to 2,000 people a day. If you're sending just from Gmail to Gmail, the limit is 500 people per day, okay? They figured that out based on artificial intelligence, because they know that anyone sending more than 2,000 emails in a day is probably a marketer. People who send around 2,000 people in a day or at a time, they're mostly like newsletter people. The typical social media influencer has around 500 subscribers. So put in the chat how many email subscribers you have that you could reach right now. You could just pick up your email program, write a quick email, and hit send. And put in 0 if it's 0. Put in 500 if it's around 500. Put in like 5,000 if it's 5,000. Peter and I have a different problem. We have multiple 100,000 person lists. And because of this problem, we can only email to them around 2,000 at a time until they demonstrate their interest in what it is that we're talking about. Back to you, Peter. Can you maybe explain how important this is?
Yeah, very important, because you're trying to train the Google algorithms that you're, like you said, good people. And that's always been a problem. What we're trying to do is train the algorithms to accept us as a trusted provider, and that the people on the list want what we have, which is why we're asking you to click on these links to train them, because the information we send out from the company is information that's going to help everybody in the program. So in effect, when you're clicking on these links, you're helping everybody in the program. And we in turn are trying to do that and have been trying to do that, and really developing and discovering these new techniques that we've found out that Google has these limitations, and trying to work within the framework that they give to have a much more successful business. And then we turn it back over to you and tell you what we found.
Exactly. So what can we do? And this is the participatory part. Maybe you could put in the chat, what can we do? What is your suggestion? What is the best suggestion you have solving this problem? And then I'll show you what Peter and I did. This is actually true. I mean, this email that we sent out, start by watching this video. We did a little test send to 2,400 people. We had 17 opens. That's a 0.7303%. Now, most people will blame Builderall. They'll say, Builderall has terrible delivery. Well, no, I've seen this. I've gotten as high as 40% open delivery on Builderall. We've had as high as 280% delivery on a very expensive software called SendLane that my friend Jimmy made. Each one of these programs is all designed to cap at a certain volume of send, but there is a way of doing it, and we're going to be talking about that. And this is an advanced training, so all of you can participate. What can we do? Given that there are these limitations with Google, Yahoo, and AOL, what can we do?
Well, the biggest thing that we could do is we have to learn that what the gorilla is doing and be aware of what the gorilla is doing, and don't just say, okay, I'm just going to keep on, hitting my head against the wall and saying this is not working. So being aware of what they're doing, testing and refining what you're doing to get the better deliverability is one of the key factors, I think.
Yes, exactly. So now that we understand a little bit more about Google, you notice that the from address here was peter@peterwolfing.info. Well, we did this before Google had actually indexed that website. It was a brand new website. It had no trust. It had no reputation, right? Remember, Google is really, really big on reputation. So what did we do? I changed the from address to something fresh. And what we actually used were the default settings in Builderall. The default settings that had already been warmed up by hundreds of thousands of people and emails that had already been sent with Builderall. Now, let me explain a little bit about reputation. Okay. The from address and the from name. So the from name can be Peter Wolfing, but the from address could be blah, 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 XYZ PDQ at builderallmailer.com, right? Google will see, oh, that's Builderall. Let's put it in promotions, but that's still better than spam. Basically, you're sharing your reputation with all Builderall users when you use the default settings. However, once you shift it to your own domain, you're building your own reputation with Gmail, your own reputation. But see, when you first get started, you have no reputation. So the subtle transition is really what we want to talk about today, is how do you transition from no reputation to having some reputation to having your own reputation? Because you can do all of it with Builderall. You see, when you're just using Builderall straight out of the box, exactly the way they give you in the tutorials, you sign up for Builderall, you pay your money, you upload your list, you start emailing people. You don't do any special things. You don't do any SPF records. You demark, SPM, all these records. They're all done for you behind the scenes. But we've found is if you are just starting a brand new website, you're actually going to inbox worse when you're first starting to build reputation with that website. However, you will inbox better once your website is indexed by Google And then once you have trust with Google. Back to you, Peter.
Yeah, vitally important. Reputation goes without saying with network marketing and your recruitment. And the better reputation that you have, you're going to start attracting more and more people and better people. And the same thing happens with the algorithms from Google. They're just trying to protect their system and their other users from people that are abusing the system. So once you understand that, then you can work to be able to work within that frame and to be able to, like you said, you'll start out slower. You won't get as many deliverability levels as you'd like, but then later on, you're going to have much better, which is what you want. So if you deal with that and you work within that, knowing that eventually you're going to have much better and better sales, then you're on the road to success. Back to you, Vic.
Thank you. Okay, so let's talk about the from name. The from name is critical because that's what people see. They don't actually see the address. In fact, when you go to Gmail, it just has the name. You don't actually see the address until you open the letter. Okay? If you want the best results, you naturally spin your autoresponder text every day, even just a little. Many of you have been taught incorrectly because you thought, okay, the company's just going to mail for me, especially network marketers. Okay. The problem is the company can only mail to 2,000 people in a day, right? Chances are most companies have more than that. That's why what's beautiful is if everybody has a slight variation, even a paragraph or two. It's something we learned in SEO, search engine optimization, back in the early days. Let me just give you a little nugget here. Things toward the beginning are more relevant than things toward the end. Makes sense, right? So your subject line of your email is going to be more relevant than your pretext. Your pretext is typically the first few sentences of your email. And then the body copy is once someone's already opened your email and reading it, okay? If you just spin your subjects and you spin your pretext, even if your body copy is the same, that's better than nothing at all. But if everybody is sending out the same headlines, the same subject lines, the same pretexts, what's ultimately going to end up happening is future generations are going to all end up in spam, even though used to inbox. That's the challenge we've always had with Vertex Live, is because it's kind of like this. If you guys are in Vertex Live, we could give you a copy and paste autoresponder series, and you could use that and all of a sudden go, wow, I'm getting so many sales from this. I'm getting so many inboxes, so many clicks. Easy One Up is crushing it for me, okay? As soon as we give those emails to people at, say, the elevation level, all of a sudden, your emails will go to the spam folder because a lot of newbies will be coming in and destroying the algorithm. Does that make sense? Peter, you want to talk about that?
That is, Victor, that has happened to every single email program that we promoted over the last 10 years, right?
Yep.
It comes out, wow, this looks fantastic. We sell it. It does great guns. Yeah, it gets a deliverability. Within a week, it's crushed and it's over.
Right.
It's using the same thing. And they're all using exactly the same thing, and it just kills it.
So the philosophy, if it works, leave it alone, or if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That doesn't work anymore, okay? Eliminate that mindset. What you have to do is constantly be refining, constantly be improving, and have your own unique spin on it. And see, what I do is I know this. I send out an email and then I send it to Peter and I say, hey, Peter, can you Peterify it? Because in order for me to send it to your people, we got to change it a little bit. It can't be the same letter that I wrote. So too many messages too fast will give you, oh, that's a typo. Too many messages too fast will put your sender email into the blacklist, is what it should say. So let me go fix that. Does that make sense? Let me hear some excitement from you in the chat if this is making sense to you. Peter, can you comment on this, on these 3 points?
Yeah, basically, you don't want to do exactly what everybody else is doing, which is telling the algorithms that everybody is a marketer, and which is going to send it to promotions and the spam folder ultimately. So that's the key thing. The other thing too is you want to make sure you check for typos and grammar. You want to use Grammarly. That's a great program to use. Grammarly is a really dynamic, great program. My English is not the best in the world as far as punctuation and grammar, and that really cleans it up really nicely. So make sure you're starting to use these different things. And the overall thrust of this whole talk here is copywriting. And if you can become even, I wouldn't say maybe a master copywriter, although that's the goal. If you become competent at copywriting, even for yourself, you could see 100% increase in your business, literally, right? And I know literally is an overused word, but it's literally, because that's one of the first skills you should really learn in your life to be able to increase your income is copywriting. And we're teaching you a lot of the nuggets in there. There's this whole, multi-hour courses on that. We're trying to give you some taste of it. And you can do that. It just takes practice. Just takes practice. Back to you, Vic.
Thank you, Peter. So it's really the tortoise versus the hare, right? You know that story of the tortoise versus the hare? Where did that original story come from?
Oh, it's I don't know. It's just a fable, versus slow and steady wins the race, and the speedy, and that's not always the case. I'm going in a tunnel, so I'm probably going to lose you. I'll be back.
That's okay. So you may have heard us talk about the sales masterclass. We have many people have already applied, and we're kind of waiting on finishing up the new migration of Easy One Up to 2.0 before we firm up the dates on the sales masterclass. But this is something, if you'd like to apply, please go to salesmasterclass.com and fill out the application form. Let me know in the chat if you've already applied. Just put SMC in the chat if you've already applied to that. But this is what the capture page looks like. Today is not that webinar. Today's class is actually part of the sales masterclass. Like, we're recording all these videos and we're editing all these videos. And then what the sales masterclass is going to go through is everything that Peter and I have taught for the last 4 years. We're going to trim it down and then teach it and then supervise a handful of people in implementation. We're going to bring in Alan, and he's going to give us a killer deal on his traffic. He has totally been crushing it with leads and lead generation. And then we're going to give you all of the swipes that Peter and I use. And if you think about it, it makes sense. If we have, let's say, I don't know, probably like 50 people in the sales masterclass, and we give those people our emails, give them our sales pages, give them our high converting offers, all that stuff, those people will get the sales first before everybody else does. Does that make sense? And then the second round will go out, and then it just kind of bubbles up, and then it becomes old news. And you see, that's how the whole industry is going. Okay, so there's 12 minutes left in the launch. And Nasser, maybe you could reach out to me on Facebook or put a comment below. Thank you for your comment about which of the admins you're having challenges with in the group. We'll certainly address that. So we are at the top of the hour. There's 12 minutes left in the launch that's happening with the Soci Empire. And I got to tell you, this has been an amazingly challenging week, because in order for this offer to be even understood, we needed to completely rewrite the sales page, because a lot of people didn't understand, well, what is this thing? Why is this thing so cool? And I finally broke down. I said, you know what? I'm just going to give away a lifetime pass to SociSNAP to anyone who jumps on the Soci Empire offer. And all of a sudden, people started jumping on it. They said, you know what, Vic? I don't even know what this Soci Empire is. It sounds great, but because you recommended it to me, I'm going to go buy it. And there is a 30-day money-back guarantee if you don't like it. But I know it's going to be over-delivered. I know Cindy. I've worked with her since 2018. She's amazing. She's kind of like one of the sharks from Shark Tank. She approached me because I created this Facebook magic tool that could just copy and paste and make your posts look on Facebook exactly the way you wrote them in Google Docs. It was a super simple tool. Never did I think that years later, thousands of people would be utilizing this and would create a whole movement of emojis and bolds and italics all over the internet, all over LinkedIn, all over YouTube, all over Facebook. Yes, there were free tools, and there are free tools. Let's face it. Of course, there's free tools to do anything. But those free tools, what they do is you have to do copy and paste like 40, 50 times. I remember my original sales letter that I wrote, I did 100 copy and pastes. And I said, you know what? This isn't worth my time. I'm going to make a tool that can just do it for me. It's going to scan through the Google Doc, and every time there's a bold, it's going to replace it with the emoji equivalent of that bold. Every time there's an italic, it's going to do that. And then I went to a conference at Facebook before the lockdown, actually, right before the lockdown. It was actually in November of 2019. And I was talking with some of the executives, and I was asking them questions. Hey, you guys have like a bias against network marketers, internet marketers, affiliate marketers? They said, no, we love affiliate marketers. We love network marketers. We just want to preserve the integrity of our membership. And what we find is most of those people in that space make really just sort of scammy and spammy looking posts, and just to make things look good, that's what we have to do. And I said, well, then I showed him SociSNAP, and he said, wow, that's really, really cool. He says, but make sure you don't use those like blocky letters or things like that look really too fake. And I said, no, all we're trying to do is just do the simple stuff, the basic stuff, just enhancing the way your ads look, enhancing the way your posts look, and making it super simple for people. All right, so we have 8 minutes left in the launch. You can pick up SociSNAP at SociSNAP, and why do you think SociSNAP at SociSNAP.com? That offer is going to be expiring in 8 minutes. And it's kind of funny because it's almost like, okay, so do you want to buy SociSNAP and get the Soci Empire, because you're actually paying for Soci Empire when you click on the lifetime offer? Or do you want to go to the Soci Empire sales page and I'm just going to give you SociSNAP lifetime? It's just a matter of perception, okay? Either way, you're going to get a ton of value. And if the Soci Empire, basically, let me clear this up. I'm probably going to extend the SociSNAP lifetime offer past midnight. However, I think the Soci Empire, which is ending in 7 minutes, that bundle is going to go away, and you'll be able to still pick up SociSNAP Lifetime, but all the goodness that comes with the Soci Empire will have to be taken down because that launch is ending at midnight Eastern in 7 minutes. So I'm going to put on some music for you to listen to. In the meantime, this is my original piano music. That's going to be an extra bonus for all of you here today. I've been thinking about this. I got into internet marketing because I wanted to sell my piano music. I'll tell you a quick story. I was actually at Google headquarters when they were launching AdWords. I don't know if you remember Google AdWords. That was their first attempt at advertising on Google. I raised my hand and they said, well, does anyone have a question? And I said, well, yeah, I do have a question. I said, how is this AdWords thing going to work for us musicians? Because, we sell digital downloads for like $10 an album, $15 for a CD. We can't afford to spend $100, $200 on acquiring a customer. And they said, and all of a sudden everyone stood up and started applauding because they were saying, oh, cost per click. You're going to spend $1 per click. That was their idea. You pay $1 per click. Yeah, good luck getting $1 per click. It's more like, $10, $15 per click for most keywords. But at that time, it just seemed unattainable. And then all of a sudden I had this epiphany. I said, well, wait a second. What if I sold bigger ticket items like courses, $500, $1,000. And all of a sudden this came this company called Easy One Up. And I realized, wow, I could just, be myself and think of what I'm doing as a promotion simply as what I I don't know if you can still hear me or not, or we lost it. My microphone all of a sudden lost connection. Let me know in the comments if you can still hear me. But either way, a long story short, that's one of the first questions I asked Peter when we started talking. I said, well, would it be okay if I give equal value for equal value? In other words, it's a fair exchange. If they buy my course, I give them access to Vertex Live. He said, sure, as long as you're giving $2,000 in real value for $2,000, that's up to you, how you want to frame it. So that's my last nugget for you guys. When you're wanting to promote Vertex Live, and I hope all of you are, because Vertex Live is by far the where we're putting all of our efforts, all of our trainings, all of our programs, everything's going into Vertex Live. We want you to think of it this way. What value, added value, could you give that you've created either now or in the future? So in other words, if you don't have a course, like I had a course, right? So I could say, okay, buy my course. If you don't have a course, you could still say, I'm thinking about making a course. And everyone who jumps with me on Vertex Live, I will give you access to my course as I'm recording it, and then follow through on that. And see, what that does is you're future pacing. You're actually now saying, you know what? You're getting something of high value, but as a bonus, I want to have a personal relationship with you. Okay. And that's one of the secrets I've learned from some of my mentors, a lot of my big ticket mastermind mentors that I've visited and learned from, is that as long as you truly, truly, truly want to serve people with whatever they're doing, whether it's Facebook marketing, email marketing, YouTube, you name it, you can create courses for that. And those courses have value. And those values will later on be translated into real world revenue. Yeah. So Nasser, if you could just let me know, I can get you unblocked. I can take care of all that for you. I just need to make sure that you didn't do anything in the group that, like one of the things you can't do in these groups. Let me, since we're talking about this, we got 2 minutes left. When you pick up this bundle, and I'm assuming all of you who are watching here live, you're going to go to SociSNAP and you're going to pick up the bundle. Let me just show you exactly what to do. It's going to show you my browser real quick. Okay. Okay, you're going to go down to SociSNAP.com. You're going to click on this button that says, what does it cost? That's going to scroll you all the way to the bottom of the page. And it's going to basically say, now is more than ever to build your email list, the exclusive bundle. And then you click yes, order now. Okay, you're going to click that yes, order now button. And you can pick that up for, actually, it's already expired according to my timer. But if you can't afford the lifetime, that's okay. You can still pick up the monthly. And I'm going to say is I'm going to give you my bonuses. I can't promise you the other company's bonuses, but I will give you all of my bonuses that I promised because you were here tonight, because you were here at the close. I want to make sure that you get everything that you need to succeed. Especially you, Nasser. I want to make sure that you are back in the group in a good standing. And you know what? We all make mistakes. I've been banned from Facebook proper at least half a dozen times. And I have every single time, it's typically been our agency or one of our clients and one of their employees that did something wrong. And that's one of the problems when you're working with people. That's one of the reasons why I got out of the agency business, because my clients would make a mistake. They would hire some low, cheap employee and have them do what we set up. And then they would make a mistake. And all of a sudden we would start paying the price for it because we were on their account. Anyway, I don't want to go into that right now, but let me leave you with this one thought. You want to make a correction. Okay. Anytime you make a mistake, you should be able to make a correction. And when you make a mistake and you correct it, just make sure you don't make that same mistake. So if you're part of a group, and all of you are going to be part of a group when you jump on this offer tonight, just check your email. I've been emailing you. Okay. So check your email, check your spam folder, because I'm sure a lot of the emails went to spam because we've done a lot of aggressive promotion today. But once you're in this group, learn from people in the group and add value, and don't be pitching links. Don't put links inside of groups that you don't have permission of the group owner or an admin for. That's how you get banned from groups. So if you're pitching yourself as a sponsor in a group that has other people who are also promoting the same offer, it's not fair to the other people. And so the admin may remove you from that group. Okay. Be respectful, be kind to others, be helpful to others. That's my counsel for you tonight. So thank you all for coming out. The launch is now officially over. We are going to be switching the links back to their normal place. And we will see you at the next live broadcast. Thank you for coming, and good night.